This is a brief synopsis of the Ben Goertzel story. Ben has a long history of using artificial intelligence as a pretense for defrauding people out of millions of dollars. He abuses his academic credentials to convince people he is some sort of genius. If he's such a genius, I'd like him to explain the horrible results he has obtained while wasting so much of other people's money. Over 20 years ago, Ben raised $20 million for his so-called artificial intelligence search engine, MindWeb. Ben proceeded to hire family and friends who had no clue what they were doing, blowing millions and not getting anything done. When Ben finally produced something and demonstrated it, MindWeb was a nightmare. It wasn't even as effective as regular search engines. $20 million, and Ben produced nothing worthwhile. In 2001, Ben Goertzel received $100,000 from the notorious sex criminal Jeffrey Epstein's foundation to serve on the board of something called Humanity Plus. Ben has never apologized for associating with the sex criminal. Fast forward to 2017. Crypto was in a bull market, and Ben came up with the idea of SingularityNET, an AI crypto token on the Ethereum network. SingularityNET was advertised as the single most valuable technology of all time. Its stated goal was to bring about an AI marketplace, and the AI was touted as benevolent, ethical AI. How benevolent or ethical is Ben Goertzel? Don't listen to what he says, look at what he has done, or failed to do. SNet raised $31 million in crypto easily, but genius Ben Goertzel didn't convert any of it to cash, even though such a smart person should have seen a crash coming and converted at least half of that sum into dollars. Barely 3 years after it started, SNet was about to go broke. Did Ben take responsibility for his actions and apologize? Of course not. He came up with Phase 2, which involved printing another billion tokens on top of the 1 billion already in circulation. These would be available to use on the Cardano network. On what planet is a failed CEO who blew over $30 million still the CEO? Ben lies and claims SNet is democratic, but there has never been an opportunity for the holders to vote him out and install a new CEO. Ben never took responsibility for anything, he just talked his way out of it as usual. Mindless SNet holders overwhelmingly voted yes for Ben's proposal, diluting their own stack value by 50%. Ben promised greater transparency, faster development, and all sorts of other things to get what he wanted. As soon as Ben got what he wanted, he forgot all about his promises and went right back to being the lazy clown that he is. Here is what $31 million and doubling the supply gets you when you believe in Ben.
Oh, the whole thing is meaningless, 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 it is a flow, a flow, a flow, a flow, a flow.
I miss my mind, I miss it so. I don't know why it had to go. It's like a mad dog in the snow. Inside my brain. Remember when we had no skin?
This is one way.
Note the awful sounding robots. This video was created with text-to-speech software and sounds better than the mumbling robots on stage who do not have one bit of artificial intelligence in them. Ben proudly posted a link to this video, as if it were some sort of accomplishment. He is so detached from reality he can't understand how horrible his singing is, or how pathetic the robots sound. When a human is trying to program an AI, it's important to examine their personality. What sort of person are they? It's clear by now that Ben is a lazy, lying, egomaniacal hypocrite. He doesn't want to work for a living but instead wants to run his mouth and live out his rock star fantasies while getting paid to do so. Ben has stated on more than one occasion how he is not money-oriented. How can Ben say he is not money-oriented when he not only granted himself 15 million SingularityNET tokens, but made himself CEO and refuses to tell anyone what his salary is? The SingularityNET nonprofit is located in the Netherlands. If the non-profit were located in the USA, Ben would have to report how much he is paid every year. In the Netherlands this is not the case. Why register a non-profit in the Netherlands? This fact alone screams scam. How can any company that claims to employ over 100 people not be able to provide the 2021 financial report over halfway into the year 2022? This team is a joke, they can't get anything done. They can't even pretend to be professional. What sort of idiots does Ben hire? Countless partnerships have been entered into by SNet, and none of them have ever produced anything. Instead of being open and honest with everyone about these partnerships, they are left on the SNet website for years after they've been discarded, leading the average person to believe the partnerships are still ongoing even though they are long dead. The SNet community resembles a cult, with anyone critical of Ben's performance banned from community Telegram groups, and those displeased by the price performance are labeled greedy, or told that SNet is a utility token and is never supposed to go up in value. That's quite a departure from the advertising touting SNet as the most valuable technology of all time, isn't it? Stay away from Ben Goertzel and his AI scams. You will only be disappointed watching your money vanish while Ben takes his Hawaiian vacations and plays in a terrible band with his mumbling robots. You have been warned.